All right, we'll begin with our usual invocations. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvatha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Namaste. Welcome to Wednesday Night Mantras. You all look very familiar, so I think you know what we're doing here and where we're going. So we're on week 3 of our Lakshmi Mahamantra practice. So we're going to do this today, and this will be our last group session for this mantra. If you've been doing it as a daily practice as well, I recommend going up at least until next Wednesday. Or next Tuesday, I guess, would be 21 days, just to kind of complete that. You know, there's this whole numerological thing around numbers like that. Mostly with mantra practice, we're looking for things that kind of numerologically render themselves down to either 3 or 9 is the most common thing. Although in Buddhist practice, also 7 is a big deal there. So 3 is a very powerful number of completion. If you do something 3 times, it sort of sets the frequency, kind of gets the energy in motion, or whatever's supposed to happen starts happening after you do it 3 times. And then, of course, 9 is 3 times 3, so it's sort of exponentially more completion on top of that. So 21, 2 plus 1 equals 3, like that. You know, when we do 108, 1 plus 0 plus 8 equals 9. That whole kind of weird thing about how numerology works. But, you know, it's just important to understand, and always remember that it's all about energy, right? Everything is energy. It's all this consciousness energy of which we are a part of, just vibrating at different frequencies. And when I say everything is energy, I mean everything is some kind of energy. So like a number is an energy vibration. And to do something that particular number of times adds the energy vibration of that number into whatever it is that you're doing. So it's always, you know, it can be really useful from a spiritual point of view to just always remember that. Keep that in mind, that it's, you know, you're talking about energy vibrations, and everything is some kind of energy vibration. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything that you can conceive of, and indeed the act of conceiving itself, is a type of energy vibration, right? So the more kind of positive and useful energy vibrations you can stack onto something, the more powerful it's going to be, the greater the vibration is going to become. That's why we have things like intention and commitment and faith and devotion and other things of that nature, right? Because those are all types of energy vibration. And when you add those energy vibrations to something, like a mantra meditation, for example, it increases, magnifies the power of the meditation. Right? So always good to know. So numerology can be a really kind of a neat subject to get involved in. Is it? No. I don't know where it is. There's a great book by Harish Johari called Vedic Numerology, I think, which is where I got a lot of these ideas. Okay, so let's look at the mantra real quick, and we'll finish up talking about what's going on with it. So there she is. And we have the bija mantras, the seed syllables, drawing the divine grace down from the crown chakra down towards the heart. Little bit of this Shakti energy moving up from the root as well, so that we get a meeting point in the heart chakra where we can have an expansion of energy there. And then addressing Lakshmi by her name Kamala, meaning the lotus goddess, and in this case, kamale, kamalālayai, the lotus within the lotus, the motive kind of force of growth that happens within the expansion of our spiritual practice. And then prasīda, prasīda, let it rain down on me, let your grace pour down upon me. And then the same bija mantras in reverse. And then here we have like a whole entire, extra mantra just kind of thrown on to the end of this thing. This is a mantra that could stand completely on its own, this last little line. You take the Om from this line up here and put it right in front here, and you'd be good. So just like kind of reinforcing the whole thing. So first of all, this word shri, this is a word that comes up a lot, and it's not well understood, I think, at least by Westerners, what it actually is. And I think it's worth talking about a little bit. So I'm going to get back to it. This stuff over here, mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. So here's Lakshmi. We're calling her out by her kind of most common name, Lakshmi. The dative case, meaning to Lakshmi, is said Lakṣmyai, to Lakshmi. And then Maha, indicating the great Lakshmi. So not like the Lakshmi of small stuff, right? The Lakshmi of great things. And that's really sort of what we're asking for in this mantra. And it's the same in the root mantra as well. We call upon mahālakṣmyai, the great Lakshmi, who is that sort of cosmic force of fertility and prosperity and contentment and happiness and all the good things, and opening ourselves up to that cosmic flow of energy, rather than kind of getting down into the nitty-gritty details, which is where we get hung up and start to focus on maybe the wrong stuff. We want to just kind of open it up to a really wide perspective. When you think about prosperity, you don't want to just think necessarily about what's happening right now. Not necessarily just about what's your prosperity for today or for this month. You want to think about what's your prosperity for this lifetime and perhaps even other lifetimes if you end up needing them in your journey, and opening yourself up to a much wider kind of a concept of what this idea of abundance might actually mean. And then, of course, as we like to do for Lakshmi mantras, the svāhā ending, I surrender myself. I allow you to control what is going to happen here. Giving control over to Lakshmi and allowing her to direct the energy in the way that is going to really be most useful for you. So, here we get into just ego concepts of how we relate to the idea of prosperity, really. I think it's interesting how often, and I was kind of searching for one that didn't have this, but I had actually really had a hard time finding it. And that was an image of Lakshmi that didn't have this. So she's got the Varada mudra here in her right hand. And then out of that, gift-giving energy, you see like this stream of gold coins kind of pouring out. Which is this very sort of earthly or material idea of what prosperity means. And it's part of it. It's certainly part of it. We need to have a certain amount of stuff. We need to have some things in order to make our lives sort of function. But it's the less important part of it. But when you connect with Lakshmi on a more of a superficial level, that's oftentimes the thing that's focused on. But here we're gonna allow her to decide. If an influx of money is what we need, then she'll make that happen. If it's something else, she'll do that. But it's better if we let her do it. It's better if we let her control those things. So back to this first word, Shri. So obviously you've got Shri and then you've got śrīṁ, right? So there's the bija mantra śrīṁ, which stands on its own. It's its own thing. And then you've got Shri, which is the same sound and is doing the same thing. So if śrīṁ is the Lakshmi bija, contains the essence of Lakshmi's energy, then this Shri also has that, right? Because that's the meat of the sound. The sound, the anusvara, the soft M sound at the end is just a modifier. It's like something that strengthens the sound a bit. So this is really the sound, Shri. So this is that bestowal of divine grace, the cosmic expansion and growth of life in the universe that pours down into us through that sound, Shri. And this was the name, Shri was the name given to Lakshmi in the Vedas. The Vedas are actually very masculine oriented in a lot of ways. There's not a lot of goddesses in the Vedas, and the nomadic peoples who came into India from the north and kind of merged with the indigenous Harappan culture in India, in northern India, thousands and thousands of years ago, they were most likely a very patriarchal culture. And whereas the culture that they merged with, the existing culture in India at that time, may have been more of a matriarchal culture. We're not really too sure of the specifics of it. But in any case, the Vedas came to be somewhat dominated by that, the cultural ideas of this group, this more patriarchal group that had come in. So while there probably were a lot of goddesses, and certainly as time went on, and that sort of idea started to erode, and the goddesses kind of started to come out and take a greater prominence in the culture. But up until that time, and especially when we get into like a tantric spirituality, which is really what our mantra practice is based on, and what most of modern yoga is based upon, goddesses oftentimes here have a really like a preeminent role, and sort of much of what's going on revolves around them. So there were really two in the Vedas. There was really two goddesses. One of them is, of course, the most obvious one, which is Bhumi, which means earth, right? The earth goddess. Most cultures around the world have some version of this, and India was no exception. So Bhumi, the earth goddess, comes into the Vedas in several different forms and in very important roles. And then this goddess, Shri. So Shri in the Vedas really is the source, this divine grace is the source of everything that is powerful on the earth, essentially. Has something to do with this Shri sound. and the vibration that connects to this goddess. So, for example, in the Vedas, Shri, or Lakshmi, is the goddess who bestows royalty upon the kings and the various other, whomever they may be, whoever the rulers may be. They rule at her. They can only rule with her blessings, right? So the Shri becomes this very important thing there. It's a sign of divine grace. It's a sign of sort of divine appointment in many ways, to receive the blessing of having Lakshmi's name attached to you in a lot of senses. And so that's where we get. So what ended up happening is that this name, Shri, we rarely refer to Lakshmi by this name anymore, even though that was sort of her original name. But this word then has come to be used quite often because of that power that it bestows. And that's why you'll see, rarely will you see this word Shri on its own. It's usually attached in some way to another name. So you'll have like Sri Ramana Maharishi is the name of a particular guru. And so you'll have Shri so-and-so, and Shri this guy, and Shri that person, and Shri whatever. And that's just adding that flow of divine grace into the name of the person. And then things get kind of crazy, and people become Shri so-and-so, and kind of adding more and more to it as they go along. But it's kind of cool to know that that's the source of it. It goes back to the Vedas when Shri was the name of Lakshmi, this goddess of fertility and abundance and life, and she was the one who bestowed divine grace upon people through this sound, Shri. And we still use this today, and it still functions in that way. And in this mantra, we even use it to say Shri mahālakṣmyai, right? And adding Shri to Lakshmi's name to kind of double up on that energy. So that's what that's all about. Let me where am I? There. Okay. Any questions about any of this before we begin? Just go ahead and unmute yourself if you have a question. Okay, we're good to go. I just posted all the usual links into the chat. There's the YouTube channel. Still need a few more subscribers in order to be able to get a name, in order to have my channel have a name. Thank you to everybody who's already done it. I know a bunch of you already have. There's my donation link if you feel like doing that. And then also, once again, if you want to pick up a mala, highly recommend, beautiful malas like this that are made by Margot. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All right. This one, I've got my trusty lotus seed mala that I've had for many, many years. Let's take a nice, deep, centering breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And another deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and one more. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ Om Shri mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale mahālakṣmyai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om, śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā, om, śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, kamale, kamalālayai, prasīda, prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai svāhā ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīं śrīं ॐ श्री mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai, prasīda prasīda, śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai, svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai prasīda prasīda śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ om śrī mahālakṣmyai svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ śrīṁ kamale kamalālayai. Prasīda, prasīda. Śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om. Śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai. Svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ. Kamale, kamalālayai. Prasīda, prasīda. Śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om. Śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai. Svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ. Kamale, kamalālayai. Prasīda, prasīda. Śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om. Śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai. Svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ. Kamale, kamalālayai. Prasīda, prasīda. Śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om. Śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai. Svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ. Kamale, kamalālayai. Prasīda, prasīda. Śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om. Śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai. Svāhā. Om śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ. Kamale, kamalālayai. Prasīda, prasīda. Śrīṁ, hrīṁ, śrīṁ, om. Śrīṁ mahālakṣmyai. Svāhā. Okay, so that concludes our practice for today. We will finish up with the closing mantras. Nice long Om, then Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 3 times, followed by Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. And we're finished with the 3-week series on Lakshmi. And well, let's do the mantras and I'll let you know what's going on with that. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti. Namaste. Thank you all for joining in. So there will be a break now for a week. I'm going to the beach and taking a week off from all my various things that I've got going on, so I can be completely focused on relaxing for a week, which I'm really looking forward to. And let me stop this recording.